Hey everyone, what's up? Hayden here with Assist Mode. I have another RPG news roundup that I want to share with you. As always here at Assist Mode, we like to break down games from a user experience design perspective. In addition to that, discuss accessibility and different features that might be available in a game to make it more approachable for all players. In addition to that, I love sharing my experience with games as a long-time gamer and really just going over some of the thing that I'm most excited for in new games. So coming up first, we have Brigandine Abyss. There is no release date for this yet, but it's going to come out later in 2026. And we're looking at the trailer right now. I have slowed it down just so that we can, really check out some of those cool effects in more detail. And if you're a fan of strategy RPGs, like for example Fire Emblem, I think this game is going to be really up your alley. As you can see, there are a number of famous developers who've worked on really a vast amount of game series. If you're a fan of any of those series, chances are you'll really get into Brigandine. I played one of the original Brigandine games on PlayStation, but it's been a while since I've jumped into the series, and I'm really excited that it's coming back. It looks incredible. The graphics look absolutely amazing. The music sounds stunning. Honestly, from the PlayStation State of Play, it was pretty much the game that I was most excited about. I want to just take a moment to break down some of the things that we can see in this trailer. So first of all, we have here a skill menu where you can select different skills that I assume this player can use, and you'll see detailed the area of effect. This is a hex-based grid, so that increases the number of opportunities that you might have for a player to be attacked or to attack, to move to, which I think is pretty cool. And then if you follow this area of effect grid, you can organize yourself and move your characters in such a way that you'll know that their attack will be able to hit the unit that you're looking for. It's a lot of fun in games like these to really set yourself up a few turns ahead, get that brain working and strategizing. To take a look at some of the other menus that we can see, some of the other screens. So this is in the battle area. I know there are two main phases in these kinds of games. There's kind of an organizational phase where you are building up your troops and you're managing your resources. And then we have a battle phase where the characters are essentially, engaging in some kind of warfare. So here we see what appears to be the battle phase, and you can see here clearly outlined the character's name, what seems to be maybe the battalion that they belong to, their HP, their MP, and level. This looks like maybe some special skills that the unit might have. And then here we have the terrain that the unit is on, its height, its evade, and its, how it affects physical defense or magical resistance. So kind of similar to in Fire Emblem, where you might be in, a forested area and have higher avoid. This game continues that, but also brings in a height component, somewhat similar to Final Fantasy Tactics, where characters from above might get an advantage or disadvantage depending on their height. Here we can see the total number of units versus which turn we're at, and then the overall goal for the level, in this case to defeat all the units. Very cool, lovely mini-map that they have here, super detailed. I like how this allows us really an opportunity to see everything that's going on in the battlefield without having to zoom around in and out constantly. I like the level of detail here, but also the precision that it brings. Very cool. Let's jump into some of the other menus. This appears to be in the organizational phase where there is a world map, and then different territories within that world map are connected. So in addition to that, we have kind of a main UI menu here where it seems you are able to level up different materials or kind of boost the level of your base using materials. Not entirely sure which one that is yet, but honestly absolutely beautiful. I love the deep blue opaque against the turquoise, kind of sky blue around the borders, gorgeous. Because there's so much blue going on, our eye is really drawn to that orange on the world map. That orange cursor is just instantly drawn to. In addition to that, the different icons are here displayed in yellow, so it's very easy for the eye to distinguish where to go. Even though there is a lot of information on the screen, the colors can kind of help us to break that down more. So checking out some of the other maps or some of the other menus. This appears to be the different mission modes, and there are a variety of factions. Appears to be about 24. So depending on which faction you choose, which mission, they also seem to have different difficulty. So if you are a new player of Brigandine and you're trying to, just figure out if it's right for you or not, or you feel like, I want to try it a little easier to begin with, just choose one of the missions that's easier, and then that way you can get started learning the basics. Maybe next time go through and choose a mission that's a little bit harder to build on those skills that you developed the first playthrough. Let's see what else we have here. This is a fate binding menu. Resurrect or bind fates with leaders and monsters. I will be honest, I'm not really sure exactly what this mechanic is. It looks cool as heck though. I mean, I really absolutely love the design of these icons. They are gorgeous, and I love the detail and ornamentation as well as that really beautiful gradient that they have from that turquoise into a deep cerulean. Beautiful, beautiful. It's just so gorgeous to look at. It really invites you. All right, so that is Brigandine. Check it out. It's coming out later this year. Fans of strategy-based RPGs and JRPGs in general will absolutely love this one. All right, moving on to our next one, we have Culdcept Begins, which just was announced on the 2 weeks ago for Nintendo Switch 2. Culdcept Begins is a board game card battler. So if you don't know what that means, I'll explain to you. It takes place on a game board similar to a board game, which is, all of the Culdcept games have. But then there's also a card battling system where you can essentially use the cards as units in battle. And there are over 400 cards listed in this game, which is impressive. So if you're looking for a game that has a lot of depth in terms of its game mechanics, you like a game that gives you some opportunities to strategize and think, this is a great game for you. It's coming out July 16th, 2026 for Nintendo Switch, Switch 2, PC, and Steam later in 2026. There will be a standard edition and a steelbook edition. Some of the unique aspects of this is that it's a prequel to the original Culdcept saga. It's also set in Bavrashka. And there are, like I said, 400 cards to battle with, and multiple game modes. So there's a story mode, an AI versus mode, and even an online multiplayer mode. The physical steelbook edition will include physical cards that you can collect, a soundtrack, and a booklet. Now if we just break down some of these menus here in the trailer, we can see here is an encounter. So this is a little bit of the battle menu, somewhat similar to previous Culdcept games, where we see the different creature stats here, and then other cards that you can pick from your hand here in order to battle with. There is a lot of information on the screen that can be a little bit intimidating at first. And so, we have these kinds of big block chunked areas that kind of show the relationship between those components, and then up on top we have all the information for our player character clearly delineated as well, and below we have all of the cards which you can select and kind of navigate through, and then eventually you can choose to fight with that card, and there will be a little battle sequence with the animation kind of similar to Pokemon, like one-on-one. So if you like card battlers, if you enjoy board game and strategy games, this is going to be right up your alley. And based on, I played the, I think, original Culdcept game, which was maybe a port for Nintendo DS. I absolutely loved it. I really loved the strategy system behind it and the depth of game mechanics that they offer in it. And it looks like they've boosted up the story as well for this game. There are, looks like a variety of characters, massive world map to explore, actual 3D world, which is pretty cool to see for a world map. And then, of course, this kind of cool Niji style anime graphics that has a kind of cell shaded almost component to it. Really beautiful game, love the art style, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game. It should be a lot of fun. Yeah, that's so cool. Just watching the trailer at this point. All right, so one of the bigger games announced in the PlayStation State of Play last week is Rev Noir. So Rev Noir is a action RPG which is coming out for PlayStation 5, and it is going to be coming out We're not sure, but hopefully later this year. I'm not entirely sure if it's coming out in 2026 yet. It is a Japanese RPG. No details yet on physical edition or cost. It was developed by ILCA and published by Konami. So Konami's just really been on a roll recently. They had the Suikoden releases, which were incredibly successful and high selling. And this looks like really a new IP from them that's getting started. The story is centered around a young man who has amnesia, and a mysterious woman as well seems to have magical powers. Standard JRPG fare, of course, but the thing that is kind of interesting about this game is they are actually trying to fight or defeat this concept called the light fall. So the light fall is like this deadly natural phenomenon where if people touch it, they die. It's kind of similar to almost like the gloom that's in The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. And so far this game is looks like it's in pretty early stages, but it's gorgeous what they produced so far. I absolutely love the character design, love the animations. The battle system is absolutely insane. It seems to be an action RPG. I'm not entirely sure if it's a full, RPG or if it's kind of a blend of different systems. Almost seems to have like a Horizon Zero Dawn kind of energy to it. Maybe Tales, a little bit Trails in the Sky too. I'm not entirely sure which direction it's going to head in, if this is going to be a darker game or a little bit more lighthearted and fun like Trails. So I'm really excited to see how this game shapes up and check it out later on the PS5. It looks absolutely stunning. There weren't really any menus displayed so far in the trailer, but if we look at some of the action scenes, we can see that there is like a dodge mechanic and a kind of like zoom in mechanic as well. There seems to be magical skills and magical effects here, and those magical effects, I'm guessing, might affect somehow the terrain. Like as we see it suddenly getting lighter from the shadow lightning. I'm not sure if it's really the magic that's producing it from that character or not. So really more questions that I have, sparked from this, but absolutely stunning game. Looks gorgeous, looks like a lot of fun, and I'm excited to check it out soon. All right. Next up, we have Kena, Scars of Kosmora, which was announced in the PlayStation State of Play. So this game is coming out later in 2026 for PC and PS5. Again, love that they have that PC version there for my disabled gamers. The cost has not been announced yet, and it is going to be an action-adventure RPG. It's the sequel to Kena Bridge of Spirits, which came out, I believe, in 2021. And, the plot of this is that Kena is seeking some answers to an affliction that she has while she is exploring the island of Kosmora. She gains some elemental spirit companions which unlock other strategic combat options, as you can see here. And she does seem to have different elemental effects with her bow and with her staff. The staff appears to, potentially change elements and so forth throughout the game. I'm not sure if that's something that can be done mid-battle or whatnot, but really it's cool how they are incorporating elemental alchemy mechanics into these spirit bonds that she's forming with these creatures, which seem to also have elemental components to them. Just looking at the design of some of these creatures, it seems that they join her in battle as well, which is cool. Like she can ride them, but then she also can jump off and do her own thing, and the animals, it seems via AI, will be also joining the battle. So yeah, really cool battle system here, gorgeous graphics, love that speed and engagement. I will be interested to see what kind of accessibility settings they're offering in this game. Obviously games that are based on, action or movement are going to be a little bit more challenging for some of our players with, motor impairment and so forth. So, games like these that offer different modes of play, like an assist mode or potentially, reducing the speed overall of the battles can really help. Oh, look at that cute little thing. Sorry, I got completely distracted. Can help all players to access these kinds of games so they can still enjoy the story and the fun, but without it being, too overwhelming, the battle system there. In addition to that, it really just looks incredible. I mean, I'm blown away with what the developers have done. Looks stunning for a PlayStation 5 game. I know fans of Kenna are going to be really enjoying finding out more about her story, seeing her a little bit older and ready to take on even more. It's just going to be cool. So I'm really looking forward to that. All right, last but not least, we have Monster Hunter Stories 3: Twisted Reflection. This game was announced during the Nintendo press conference 2 weeks ago. It's coming out for Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. The cost is to be determined, and the genre is turn-based RPG. So it's a bit of a spin-off of Monster Hunter with more of a turn-based component. So just like other Monster Hunter Stories games, this is a little more narrative than the mainstream Monster Hunters, which is more of a collect 'em kind of game. And this has an expanded combat system with 4 member battles, including a rider plus 3 allies. There is a Wyvern Soul gauge and topple mechanic. So similar to the topple mechanic that you guys might know from like Octopath Traveler, that kind of thing. It looks like you'll be engaging with enemies specific elements in order to, kind of have some advantage in battle. There are monster ecosystems that reward ecological stewardship. So the more that you're attempting to save their world and their ecology, you're going to earn points for that. I wish such a thing existed in the real world for sure. And so far, we are, it seems extremely ambitious, especially for the Switch 2. I mean, it looks incredibly stunning. The rendering is beautiful here. And the worlds look so lush and full. The colors are stunning. The animations are beautiful. It's really cool that you can have a variety of different mounts, that you can travel the world between, on foot or by air. It seems to be an absolutely massive open world RPG, which is incredible. The character design looks really beautiful as well. Just to add that on, I did notice that the characters are a little bit older than previous Monster Hunter Stories games. I'm gonna assume that they are gearing this for a slightly older demographic than previous games, just based on some of the more mature themes that we're seeing in the trailer, in terms of what looks like conflict or warfare, and some drama, between the characters. These are things that, a little bit more geared for mature players for sure. Just to zoom in here on some of the, the battles. We got a cutscene. Let's see if we can check out some of the battles. Did they show that in this one? Maybe not. It's mostly, I guess, just a plot trailer. So, if you are curious about this game, you're a Monster Hunter Stories fan, you want to dig in, check it out first, there is actually a trailer demo available. It's coming out in less than a month from now, so if you're curious to try it out, definitely jump in, see if it's the right kind of game for you, and let me know what you think. Are you a Monster Hunter Stories fan? Do you prefer the original Monster Hunter games? What kind of games are you most looking forward to that you saw from the Nintendo Direct and also from the PlayStation State of Play? I'm really curious which games you're most looking forward to, and if you've checked any of them out, let me know what you think. Definitely, if you are a neurodivergent or disabled gamer who is trying these out, please let me know if these worked for you or what didn't work, and I will try to cover more details about that in future videos so that we can go into more of a deep dive about these games. And yeah, they look so cool, so fun. I'm really looking forward to that. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. This was a fun video. We covered a lot, but really, we got a chance to dig into some awesome games coming out. So I hope you enjoyed this. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I will catch you all next time. Bye.